Okay, you're on speaker, and we're gonna hit record.
Awesome. Let me know when you're rolling.
We're rolling.
Perfect. All right, James. So first thing I'm going to have you do is obviously look into the camera and introduce yourself. Name, age, where you're from, what you do for a living.
Okay, my name is James Erickson. I am 30 years old. I live in San Marcos, Texas, and I am a legal assistant in San Antonio, Texas.
Perfect. All right, James. So first thing we're going to talk about here is where you grew up and what that was like.
Okay, well, I was originally born in West Virginia, and I moved to Tennessee, Chattanooga, Tennessee to be exact, and I was raised there. Typical family, mother, father, just an only child. We had a lot of hardships when I was growing up. I was poor pretty much most of my life, middle class once I got into high school, and just had a great time. I enjoyed all my friends, pretty sociable, especially when I got into high school. Really enjoyed everybody around me.
And tell me where you went to school, where you went to college, and what you got your degree in.
Okay, I went to Trevecca Nazarene University. That's where I got a degree in religion with a minor in pastoral ministries.
So tell me about that, because I feel like not everyone growing up per se knows that they want to, major in religion. And at that point, did you already know that you wanted to become a reverend?
No, actually in high school I didn't want to become a reverend at all. I was actually looking forward to going into criminal justice. I was looking for a degree in criminal justice because my father was in law enforcement for 30 years, and I thought that's exactly what I want to do. I want to be a lawyer, I want to be an attorney, I want to be a police officer, maybe all three rolled up in one. I don't know, but that's really what I wanted to do. So I decided I'm going to law school and that's going to be it. But I didn't make those plans later on. I was in church one day and decided that I really wanted to follow God's call, and so I became a minister. I went to school for it for 4 years, graduated, and then got ordained a couple years later.
And can you tell me how long you've been a minister for?
Well, I did youth ministry for 2 years, and so that's the 2 years I did it. And then 5 years of pastoral ministry as a senior pastor, so 7 years altogether.
All right. And what do you also do besides that? What is your current job?
My current job is a legal assistant. When my wife got into grad school, we moved from Tennessee to San Marcos, Texas, a town we have never really heard of ever before in our life. So we came down here for her schooling, and I was looking for a job, and a friend of ours at church had a job opening at his law firm for a legal assistant. So I decided that's what I wanted to do because it was the only job open. So I decided that was a great career, and I've always enjoyed law anyway, so it was actually a perfect career choice for myself.
You are a law practicing minister.
That's exactly right. It's a very difficult situation, and I love it though. It's interesting. It's unique to me.
Did you just say it was a difficult situation?
Oh, I meant unique situation, not so much difficult.
Can you expand on that a little bit? What makes it unique?
When I say unique, I mean it's kind of like my personality. I like to do different things. I like to challenge myself a little bit more, and so this is a biggest challenge to me is working with people. And what I do as a legal assistant is I take phone calls and talk to very interesting people each and every day, and it's so unique as to the types and cultural backgrounds that we talk to, sometimes just the different types of cases we deal with, and then being a minister, having to try to even comfort some of those folks and what is going on.
Now let me ask you this. Obviously there's the whole separation of church and state. Do you ever have an urge to kind of want to give them godly advice, or stuff like the minister side of you? Does that ever creep up when you're talking to these people as a legal assistant, where you're like, oh, you should do this, or do you secretly judge them?
I have to bite my tongue quite a bit because not only do we deal with cultural backgrounds, we deal with a lot of religious backgrounds as well. Anywhere from Muslim, Christianity, Jewish, it comes, even Catholics, it comes all shapes and sizes. So I have to really bite my tongue. It's really hard not to want to say something, but I try to be relaxed, be calm, and just listen to their problems.
I can imagine you have to hold your tongue quite a bit.
Yes.
And what kind of minister are you? Like, what's your religion, I guess? Because I'm Catholic, so as you can imagine, I don't know much else about anything else.
Actually, the denomination I'm in is Church of the Nazarene. It's a Protestant denomination in the United States and pretty much all over the world.
Oh, cool, cool. And now you're like an onion, James. There's just so much to you that I never would have also guessed that you're a ghost hunter.
Yes, that is another just layer of that onion that just keeps peeling off. I think I take on too much sometimes, but it's just me. I love it.
So can you tell me in a complete sentence that yes, I'm a ghost hunter, how long you've been doing it, and what in the world made you start to ghost hunt?
Yes, I'm a ghost hunter. I have been ghost hunting for 2.5 years, and one day I was just actually watching a paranormal show on TV and said, that actually looks fun. I love to investigate things anyways. So that's why I did it. I joined a local group. They let me come on, and I was kind of almost like a chaplain per se to do that. But they said, we want you on the team, and I became an investigator and just recently started my own team about 2 weeks ago.
Now you need to tell me, have you ever seen anything? Where have you gone ghost hunting?
A couple places I've gone that are pretty semi-famous. One is Hales Bar Marina, and it's in Tennessee. Another one is South Pittsburgh Hospital. It's a haunted hospital. And I have seen shadows move across the hall. I have definitely seen full figures walking down hallways, up stairways. I've heard the main thing we usually get is the EVPs, which is electronic voice phenomenon. And what you do is you hear different voices on recordings in your ear, sometimes just out of nowhere, and you can't even explain where those things came from.
What was the most freaked out moment you've had while ghost hunting?
The most freaked out moment that I've had ghost hunting would probably be when we were at a cemetery. And while we were in the cemetery, we were investigating, and we heard a gate close. And when we heard the gate close, we looked around, we finally saw the gate, and we were standing there. And as we looked straight ahead, there were two of us there. We saw a shadow about 10 feet away. I mean, just pass right in front of a light. And we went chasing after it. And when we went chasing after it, we went to this one section of the cemetery that we followed it to. And it was like something was scaring us and wanting us to come back. It was so horrible. We did not like it at all. So we left the cemetery immediately following.
Oh, are you there?
Oh, I'm still here. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I was done with the story. I'm sorry. I was like, did I lose her? Did we disconnect? I hope she calls back. So
Maybe it's a ghost telling us, stop talking about me.
that is probably the case. I'm looking behind me now, so if there's anything here, we'll see it. We've got it on camera now.
So James, obviously you pay the bills by being a legal assistant, but if I were to just kind of sum you up in a couple of words, you are a ghost hunting minister legal assistant.
Those are the words that describe me, I guess. Yes, that's exactly what I do. I'm a ghost hunting minister legal assistant. That's that onion for you.
Never met anyone like that before.
Well, congratulations, you met me.
Yes, definitely. There's a bunch of other things we're going to talk about, but
Okay.
real quick, married, do you have kids?
I am married. I have a wife. Her name is Bethany. We've been married for 5 years, and no, we don't have any kids. Not yet.
All right. Okay. And what is your favorite book? Do you remember what you wrote in your application?
I believe my favorite book, I'm trying to remember thinking at the application, because when I filled it out, there were so many questions on that application, so it took a long time. And then there were yes, and then there were none. I was just getting ready to say that. Yes, that's my favorite book. It was an Agatha Christie book that I've read since I was a little kid. One of my favorite books because of all the twists and turns in it, and then the ending, which I don't want to give away because if you haven't read the book, that wouldn't make any sense. But it's a great book, and there's a lot of mystery in trying to solve who did it. I love it. Yes. That was in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I was a actor, performer there for Vaudeville Cafe in Chattanooga, Tennessee. It was a lot of fun. It was basically an interactive murder mystery dinner theater. We would have different cases. One was like the murder mystery of the redneck Italian wedding. Some of us were rednecks and some of us were Italian. And we'd have a little wedding there, and we would involve the audience. We'd bring audience members up to the stage. We'd have them interact with us. We'd talk to them all over the place, making funny jokes. Sometimes we do a high school reunion type of murder mystery, and I think now they have a Facebook fugitive murder mystery. So I've never been a part of that one, but they were just definitely interesting. Meet lots of people too from all over the world that come there.
I love it. All right, James, let's talk about the show now.
Okay.
As I mentioned to you before, 12 to 15 people live in a house. Every week there's a new crime or mystery you have to solve. Whoever's the weakest in solving that crime goes home. Everyone else continues on. Winner receives $250,000.
All right, I can handle that.
And we're going to talk in a minute about your strategy and your gameplay. But my first question is, why do you want to be on Who's Done It? And your answer should obviously start with, I want to be on Who's Done It because.
Okay. Well, I want to be on Who Done It because I feel like I have the charisma and the strategy and the knowledge. And I have great observational skills that will really help me to succeed through it. I know a lot of people's answers go, because I can be on TV, but anybody can be on TV, as you can see through any other show. But it takes special people to put together, to compete against each other. And I feel like I could bring something special to this show that a lot of people couldn't bring, especially all these layers that I apparently have. So those are layers that I could bring to the show that would add dimension, add depth, and also just add a unique personality that you don't see very often.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but it's a large part of the fact that you want to be on the show because you grew up reading the Hardy Boys, and you always wanted to be in criminal justice and an attorney and a police officer.
Yes, I mean, a lot of it's because of the criminal justice background. Like I said before, my father was in law enforcement for 30 plus years. He was either a security guard or he was actual sheriff's department. So this is one reason that it's kind of a passion within me that always wants to investigate things. And I'd just like to see what I can do on a bigger scale, given the opportunity. And I feel like this is the opportunity to do that.
Great answer. Next question is, what crime skills, or mystery skills rather, do you feel you possess that will help you in this game? And feel free to, talk about, listen, I'm a legal assistant, so I have to, I deal with these types of things all day, every day, and I know how to look for, or dig for clues or whatnot, and then also tie in the fact that, you're a ghost hunter, and what skills that helps you will help you in this game.
Well, one of the things that I feel, especially with the ghost hunting, you really have to be on your toes. You have to use all of your senses. You have to use touch because you don't know if anything's going to reach out and touch you. You have to use your vision because you don't know when you're going to see a shadow. You have to use your ears because you really don't know when the next voice is going to come in or if there's going to hear footsteps going along. And sometimes people say there's a sixth sense, just a hunch that you have. And working in the law office, sometimes you have cases that come in and you're having to look up different investigative styles, and you have to be really observational, making sure you don't miss a thing. And I feel like I have those skills because of the ghost hunting, because of working in the law office as a legal assistant. I see different cases come in that I can work with my hands, with my head, with my ears, nose. There's just so many different things. Like the other night ghost hunting, we actually had smelled cologne in this one house. And none of us were wearing cologne because most of the team is women. And none of them had perfume, no cologne. I don't wear cologne that often. I hope that doesn't scare anybody. But that's exactly what really happened. And we smelled that. So that was another sense that we had. And it was using our skill of observation. I feel like that would be an edge that I have over a lot of other people.
And let me ask you this, James. You get in the house, first day, first impression, what are people going to think of you?
I would hope that people would see me as a nice guy, but also someone who's got a great personality and is very friendly and can be trustworthy, because I really want people to trust me, and not so that I can trick them later, but that but that they can say, hey, this guy I can trust, and maybe I can trust them if we need to form an alliance later on during the course of the investigations, during the different crimes that we have to solve. So I'm hoping that that would be kind of an edge that I have, and hopefully they'll find me funny. That's really what I hope.
Alrighty, and let me ask you this. You get, let's talk about your gameplay or your strategy.
Okay.
If and when you find evidence or clues about, what happened in the mystery or crime or what have you, what are you going to do with that information? Are you going to keep it to yourself? Are you going to share it? Are you going to, form an alliance? Will you lie about it to other people what you found? What are you going to do?
Well, probably being a minister, I won't lie about it, but I will give little nuggets of maybe information. My goal and my strategy would be to hold on to as much information as possible and keep it to myself, especially the big chunks of information that are really, really important that I feel like would help my case out or help my cause, really. I wouldn't give that to other people, but I would also maybe give them a little bit of information that would maybe assist them but not really hurt my chances at anything. So my goal would also to be form some alliances like I was talking about before, so I could form alliances so that later on, if there's a vote coming on, I won't get voted off, because I know that's going to happen, and I just hoping that I can curb that some way so I can get around, maybe even skirt under the radar a little bit around other people.
Just so we have this kind of like in a smooth sentence, and
Okay.
this will probably come up a lot because there are a lot of people in this game that want to win, and
Right.
if you watch these shows, people go to great lengths, but being that, your background and everything, will you lie or manipulate at all in this game?
I don't know if I'll lie. I can't say that. My hope is that I won't. And that's, because there's a human side of us that, we definitely want to try to get to our advantage. But sometimes I think we can get to our advantage without having to necessarily lie. There's little, half-truth. There's little things that we can do to twist around that, twist around the lies. So you don't have to do that. But it's going to be kind of hard. I mean, it's kind of a challenge for me. But, I'm willing to do the challenge and see what happens.
You're kind of going to have almost an internal struggle between what the Bible, what God says, and obviously what you practice, and then the whole human side of you.
Yeah, pretty much. I would say that would be the biggest challenge that I would have to face, is with that human factor and then the ministry factor. But you know what? I can still do it. I think that would be a great challenge to take on.
I think I would agree with you, Jason. How good are you at knowing when you're being lied to?
I'm pretty good at that. I know when I'm being lied to. I can just see in people's eyes sometimes, and just, again, that fact of observation. I can see maybe if they're fiddling their fingers, or, they have to be really good at, almost like a human polygraph test. They're really going to have to fool me to know. And I'm a very trusting person, but I can usually tell when somebody's lying to me. Whether it be, like I said, fiddling with fingers, or a nervous twitch, something, I don't know, but I can usually sense when somebody's lying.
On every show, you kind of have these easily identifiable people that, first night you're like, oh, that's the, so-and-so. So,
Yeah.
for example, I'm just going to throw out a bunch of labels, if you will. You're going to have, the attorney, you're going to have the jock,
Right.
the model, the super mom, my God, the soccer mom, also could be considered a super mom, I guess.
Oh, I guess so.
And who's James?
Me, I'm a minister. I'm a charismatic guy. I just have a lot of energy. I'm probably made Mr. Energy throughout the whole time. If you can ask any of my friends, if I give you the numbers to call them, they will tell you that I am full of energy, and sometimes I just know how to harness it and just put it in the right places. But I'm hoping they'll see me as the energetic. Maybe they'll see me as a dork. I don't know. But for me, I see myself as just Mr. Energetic. Always maybe type A personality. That would be the way to put it.
I like it. Is there anything else, James, that we need to know that we haven't covered?
No, I think you're seeing a lot of the layers now as it's being unplayed right in front of the camera.
All right. Last thing I want you to do is look into the camera and kind of give us your big pitch about why we should pick you. It's almost a laundry list of everything we've already covered, but
Okay.
just in a streamlined, couple sentences. So it should sound something like this. I'd be a great pick for the show because I work as a legal assistant, so I'm working with details and I have to observe people every day. I have the skills, and I not only learned from my job, but also because of the fact that I love Agatha Christie books. I grew up on them, the Hardy Boys. I take a lot of information that I learned from my dad because he worked, 30 years in the police force and whatnot. If you feel that you have skills as a minister, that's going to help you throw that in. And then talk about how being, a ghost hunter also adds to the equation in a Pretty Little James way and wrap it up.
Okay, I'll try to do the Pretty Little James way. Let's see. The reason I think I would be great for this show, the reason I think is because my dad was an officer for 30 plus years. I have experience as a ghost hunter. I work as a legal assistant with lots of criminal cases that come through our doors each and every day. I really am passionate about what I do. I have great skills as an observation. But one of the main reasons I really want to do this is because I feel like I have the charisma and the energy to do it. I feel like it's a challenge. And I've already been challenged with ghost hunting. I've been challenged as a minister. I've been challenged as a legal assistant. Now it's time for me to take a new challenge, a new leap, to put all those skills I've learned there into something new. And I feel like this is a new opportunity for me.